All right, we're live here, seventh inning stretch. Logan Stone with me here on a Wednesday evening here. I'm Darren Breyer with you. We're going to talk a little baseball here as we get close to the All-Star game. A lot to get into. Does Logan believe in my Blue Jays yet? We will get into all of that next. Seventh inning stretch here. Logan Stone, what is up? Another week here as we get closer to the dog days of baseball. You can feel the intensity picking up a little bit in the play. The managers, we're at the All-Star break. The teams have been announced. Where are we at right now? A lot of good stuff going on. What's catching your attention the most around Major League Baseball right now?
Oh man, that's a lot. It's there's a lot to talk about, really. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to talk about Cal Raleigh, for a second.
Unbelievable.
I know this is spur of the moment. Hold on, I have
36 bombs, right?
Yeah. So he's on pace for 64 home runs, in 2025. So I saw this, and so forgive me if I'm phrasing this wrong, but he and Aaron Judge are on pace. Cal Raleigh 64 home runs, Aaron Judge 62. This will be the record for most homers in a season in the American League by two players. Most homers in a season by a Mariners hitter, King Griffey Jr. had 56. Most homers in a season by a switch hitter, Mickey Mantle had 54. Most homers in a season by a primary catcher, 48 for Salvador Perez.
Oh, he's going to blow by that.
Yeah.
He's going to blow by. Do you think he can? My brother asked me this on my podcast with Tyler. What's up to you? What's up? He's listening here with the family. We'll do our best to keep it PG, right, Logan? All right, what we got?
What?
What? So you have, what was the question, Casey? He said, do you think Cal, this was last Sunday, do you think Cal will get more than 55 home runs? Like if you were to do, I said, I think he's going to end up with a right around there. He said, I think he's going to end up around with 57. Do you think he'll get more or less than 55?
Oh, more. I think 57, 58 is probably where I'd have it. I don't think 60 is obtainable.
That's an all-time catcher season. I mean, he might go down as the best catcher season of all time if he ends up with that, right? I mean, that's
yeah. How
do you win MVP if
hold on. You're forgetting the greatest catcher of all time who had 19 straight great seasons, and that's Yadier Molina, who didn't need to hit 70 home runs.
Liar! I can see it, dude. I can see it. I mean, other than Mike Piazza in our lifetime, right? I mean, Pudge was a good hitter. Power from catcher.
Right.
There's some one-off seasons, like I can mention Todd Hudley along the way with the Mets early. I can. There's some ones that have JT. He's had a few good seasons along the way. I'm
Pure
talking
power by a catcher is
just home run.
Impressive. Yeah, and
holy moly.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, that's better on the knees, I guess. So he realized, it's better to do that than just hit doubles.
No, that is, and that's why we talked about him. That's why we talked about him a little bit last week as well in terms of the MVP conversation. This Giants walk-off was ridiculous last night. I kind of want to get your thoughts on that later in the show, but if I'll show it on there. If anybody missed this walk-off, I mean, I don't know if you saw it. I literally fell asleep early. Tyler, 9:15. I was laying there on the couch, but I had the phone, had Dave Fleming on the call. Then I wake up. He got too excited. It's off the wall. Like it's mountain. So we'll get into all that for a walk-off homer, the first one since 2016. We'll get that into as well.
That's the first time since 2016 they've done that?
Yep. Not the Giants, MLB. So first time a walk-off inside the park home run.
Walk-off.
On the call. Yeah. I mean, he was a catcher that did it, but that's where we're at with it too. So I'll get to that when I get to the grades here with the Giants. Me and Logan wanted to start Tyler, though, in the AL real quick before you get to your Giants on grades. We're not going to spend a month on this thing, but we'll move through it a little bit. Let's start in the AL like you wanted to before we get to his NL. I mean, let's go Tigers, Royals, Twins, Guardians, White Sox. That's the standings right now in it. If you had this, I mean, the Tigers A++++, how are we doing with them? They're at 59 wins, sir.
How many?
59.
59. Okay, so my thing's wrong. So I gotta, for some reason it has the Tigers. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Tigers. Yeah, I mean they gotta get it. They gotta get an A+, especially with where they were at last year at the beginning of the season.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean there's just no way that they were counting on just having the best record and just everyone in that team producing, which is big. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's an A+, and they really didn't spend money on it. I mean, it's all homegrown players. Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, who else?
Torkelson's really picked it up for them as the number one pick.
Yeah.
He had the walk-off the other day. He had a home run. I mean, he's really been a big – Riley Green's a stud for them. Baez has really picked it up as well. Torres has been part of it. McKinstry, I feel like he's a solid player as well. But it's the pitching, right? I mean, they've literally their top three, the way they've pitched right this year. Skubal's an automatic, but Flaherty's pitched well, and Mize has pitched really well. I wasn't expecting that from Mize. I thought he could bounce back, but he's had a really good season. And then Skubal, obviously, if the Tigers lose with him, it's a bad day.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and Skubal is just Cy Young again. It's kind of weird because like the starters are. I mean, they've got Casey Mize is definitely Jack Flaherty, who's supposed to be their number 2, is not having a couple. He's had a string of couple bad starts. But I mean, Reese Olson, who's kind of come in with 10 starts, he's done well. Jackson Jobe, is it Jobe or Joby? Jobe. He's done really well with the 10 starts he's been given. The bullpen is just lights out too. I mean, Vest, Holton, Hannafree, Herder, Cali. I mean, it's they've been pretty awesome. So
and Carpenter, who got hurt, he was really good for them as well. I mean, they've been really good. So like, as the Tigers are the obvious A+ there. Let's go. You want the Twins? Okay, hold on. Royals, real quick. Give me the Royals. C minus.
It's probably a C.
Have a little gutso behind it. What do you got?
I
have about a D+.
It's kind of hard for me because it's like they didn't spend. I wasn't expecting much from them this season. They didn't do anything in the off season. So it's like, do you give them a C- because they didn't do anything, but you didn't expect anything? So they're kind of confusing. So I guess a C-. I mean, they showed up to the playoffs last year. They could have added or done something to that offense, but they're like, nope, we don't need to. By golly, we know what's best. We know how to do winning baseball because we've won 2 in the last 40 years.
Hey, the biggest thing they've done, the biggest thing they'll do for the next decade is they were able to sign Bobby Witt Jr. That's the greatest thing they've done in there. I gave them a D+. Where now let's move on to the Twins. And for me, it's a same thing. It's the same thing as the Royals, except for a little higher. I'm going to give you just a C- in terms of that. In terms of the Twins, you're saying me and you talked today. You said I would trade, give up Joe Ryan, give up Buxton, give up Correa if you could throw him in. Why would you trade Buxton after he finally had a good year? Joe Ryan's, to me, one of the best pitchers that you would want on your team. And you're saying just get rid of these guys. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, sir.
So Byron Buxton, he's played 74 games this year, which is about all of the games.
Right? Don't you
I'm going to. I have to. 102 games last year, 85 and 23, 92 and 22, 61 and 21, 39, which is 20 less than the 60 in 2020, 87 in 2019, 28 in 18. He played 140 games in 2017, 92 games in 2016, and 46 games in 2015, but that was his rookie year.
So you're saying it's not a basketball season. It's half of
it.
But he's maybe put it together. Why would you
I get
give it up
it.
now?
And when he's on, he's one of the best players of all time. But and this is my point with it is he's so good when he's on, but he's never like he's always injured. He shouldn't be playing center field anymore. If he with an injury history like that, he's only cracked 100 games twice
No, I
in
get
his
you.
career,
I get
twice. And so when you're on when you have the Twins, you cannot have the best player be Byron Buxton. Whenever he only plays 90 games a year.
Did you know he got removed today from the game?
Oh gosh, of course he did. That makes sense.
So here's the update on him. He says Buxton was removed from the Wednesday's game against the Cubs with a left hand contusion. X-rays came back negative for any fractures after Buxton was hit by the pitch on his left hand during his first at bat in the Wednesday game. Now, I will say after I was watching that game, he did get hit and he did steal second base. So just letting people know. And he did get removed, but he also did steal second base and scored in that first inning as well. But I mean, I hear what you're saying about him, but then you add this just blasphemy, Logan Stone.
Blasphemy.
And you're saying trade Joe Ryan? I mean, what are we? This guy throws 96 on the black. What are we doing? We're not trading him.
I'm not the one who said it. It was
you said it in a text message.
They were reporting it, so I just said that's a great idea. I think look, this group of guys is just not working, and they're unwilling to spend money. I mean, let's look at on base percentage. Ty France has done well. Cody Clemens is kind of mediocre. But that has nothing to do with
Joe Ryan. Why would you trade your best player?
Let's see. When is he a free agent? Do you know?
I can look it up here on MLB reference, but it still doesn't make sense, Logan. You know he's not a free agent next year.
Yeah, he will be a free agent in 2028. I mean that'll get you a couple top prospects.
Oh my gosh, man, you disagree on the Twins. We have all year. We have disagreed. We have agreed on a few teams along the way, but the Twins and me and you have not been the same.
It's just it hasn't been working. They got it. They can't. The
Correa thing is a little odd. If you could get rid of that contract, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah,
but I guess let's put it this way. Let me ask you this. Then we'll move on to the teams. If you were to say Correa and you have to add either Buxton or Ryan to get off of that contract, who are you adding?
If I can get rid of Buxton and Correa, I would do that. I would try to. I think Joe Ryan would be worth a lot.
He would be worth a lot. Brian Reynolds, did you hear about this? I'm saying the teams that he doesn't want to go to.
Oh, I did see the list. I can't remember the list off the top of my head, but yeah, I saw that. I was thinking, oh look, it's coming to fruition. Who said this like a month ago that he wanted Brian Reynolds to get traded?
He says what did he say? What were the teams that were on his list? I'll have to get it up here in just a second. I'm looking for it. I think it was the Dodgers, the Mets, the Blue Jays, the Giants, the Padres, and the Yankees are on, or not the Padres, of course, but the Yankees aren't on his list. So that's as Chris Jericho out there. He made the list, so we got that out there. I'll be curious what happens with him in a little bit. Aaron, appreciate you tuning in here with it. We're gonna go grades here in the league. We're starting with American League. We're kind of working our way through the Central. But go ahead, you got a thought on Reynolds there?
Yeah, so the teams he can veto trades are the Yankees, Dodgers, Mets, Blue Jays, and Giants and Padres. All of those are contending teams. I'm kind of curious about that. Like, does he?
Maybe he wants to. Do you think he wants to play in Sacramento? Unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, that's just kind of interesting. Maybe he just wants to see where they're at positionally before he can. But I'm surprised.
Don't you think there's something to a player that plays for a franchise for almost a decade and you want to stay in that city? I mean, if your family's there, you have you know what I mean? You have kids. I'm just thinking realistically, I'm not like, oh yeah, let's just move everybody out. Let's go here. I mean, if you actually have those things and it's hard for people to think about that now because sports have just become a move on. Let's go. But some guys do get invested into their city. It really does happen. And I think Reynolds might be that case ever since the Giants traded him to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of remember a couple years ago before his contract, extension that he seemed a little unhappy. But you know, I gotta imagine playing, even if you love Pittsburgh, which probably the best ballpark in MLB.
Outside probably San Francisco.
No, it's better than San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco and it's better.
Have you been to Pittsburgh?
No, but just watching it, it's better.
Did you take the ferry to the game? We'll see that.
Yes, I did. I did take the ferry. Yeah, impressive. Like a true Giants fan. But you got to expect, like, after 10 years with the Pirates, just losing every game so brutally, kind of being a forgotten player when you're a really good player. Like, I mean, apart from Paul Skeens, you are probably you're the best team on that, best player on that team. And then all of a sudden just losing so brutally every day for 10 years and just wasting your prime. I got to imagine he wants to go to a place where he just really wants to, like, thrive and have a winning record with fans in the stands.
Maybe not. Maybe Logan.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Give me Guardians, White Sox real quick. What do you got?
Guardians, White Sox. Guardians. They're going to be a F for me. Okay. They traded Naylor in the offseason. They lost a couple guys whose name escapes me at the moment. Oh, they traded their second baseman to
Enemes to the Blue Jays. Now they're
Blue Jays, yeah. Yeah, and they just lost a couple of guys. They're probably going to lose Clase. They're probably going to lose a couple other guys.
They should.
They had to. Tristan McKenzie, who is probably their best player 2 years ago, got DFA'd or released in the middle of the season this year. So, I mean, they screwed him up. Yeah, they get an F from me. They were so disappointing after being one of the best. The second best team in the American League last year?
Yep.
And so the White Sox, they get a okay.
Remember the Soto home run, the famous Soto home run against the Guardians?
Yeah.
That was the one that got it. That's the one that got a little famous there with New York.
Yeah.
He hit that post. I was driving home from a random Stanford SMU game when I heard that on the radio. So my son was like, "Who hit the home run?" I was like, "Yep, Big Soto. He delivered." All right, so
that was such a clutch moment. White Sox,
F, D plus. Do we give him a D plus?
I'll give him a C actually. They got better somehow.
They're not all time bad, right?
They're 31-62, but
they haven't won the Andrew Vaughn trade. They lost that trade so far. Vaughn, the first Brewer to have 3 RBIs. In a game to start his season there. He gets the tying hit in the ninth. So I gave the White Sox a D minus, whatever. Same thing. It's not. It's the same on the track. All right. Blue Jays, A plus.
Blue Jays, yeah. A plus.
They just lost today. They had won 10 in a row. Lost by 1 to the White Sox, who we just talked about. I've been on them. Oh yeah, I said, come on, Logan, let's go, buddy. Are you kind of hopping on? Or you're like, nope. Still, no.
I have to acknowledge that they're in the lead in the division. They're first in the division. So I'm going to give them an A. I think that I'm really interested to see what they do at the deadline. One thing that I love about the Blue Jays, though, and I was thinking about this, I think it's the Giants, too, that I really like, is that they are not one of those teams that, no player will sign with us, so we're just going to tank and try to create our farm. Yeah, they are actively trying to win no matter what. Unlike the Rockies and some of these other teams.
Pirates.
Yeah. Pirates. And so I respect them for that. I want them to do well. It's just a shame that they've had to dismantle. I mean, it's kind of a Yankees blunder too. And so that's kind of something that's weirded me out. Like, they have a plus 20 run differential to the Yankees plus 102.
So, and why would the Yankees get rid of DJ today? I got to ask you about that. Does that make sense to you?
It does.
Time was up.
He wasn't going to be able to play first base.
His fielding was getting worse at second. That I will agree with.
Jazz Chisholm is so good at second base, and I think that they couldn't really use him at third. And so I think they just wanted to. I think they're planning on getting a third baseman. So I think they just wanted to get rid of DJ now. And
so what do you give them then? I mean, they're in second place. They've had a solid year. They've had a bad 2 weeks here. That's really kind of set them back when the Blue Jays won 10 in a row. Obviously, they're still obviously within striking distance.
Yeah.
They got Stanton back. Fried's been really good for him. Rendon's been good for him, despite Cole being out for the year. I give him a B plus. I mean, that's harsh a little bit for me in that regard. It's probably an A minus if it guns against my head. Maybe I'll say all right, A minus. But I do think they have a little. I mean, Judge has been fantastic the whole year. I just want to see a little bit more from the bullpen. The bullpen's been so shaky this year. Williams seems like he's on the right track finally. Weaver had a bad game against the Mets. I got to see more from the bullpen, though, for me to really believe in this team. Like that, this bullpen is shaky without a doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of their fault, but not their fault. I mean, they've lost Clark Schmidt. He's getting Tommy John surgery. They lost Garrett Cole in spring training. Luke Weaver has been injured a couple times. I mean, apart from Devin Williams, their bullpen is not bad. I mean, they have Ryan Yarbrough.
It's not end the game stuff in a playoff game. That's what I worry about. Like Williams and Weaver. Williams has the best stuff, but he struggled early on, so his stats are not quite there. He's kind of pitched a little better lately over the last month. Weaver has kind of ridden the wave. He doesn't go really up and down, but he kind of just has these moments like he had the other day against the Mets where he walks the guy, has no location, and gives up a home run to McNeil. For me, the Yankees, they get a B plus, but I honestly would, if somebody said, "Hey, who you put money on to win the division?" I'm staying the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to. They also,
but I do like the Blue Jays.
Yeah, me too. I do too. But I mean, it's hard. I mean, whenever you think about like what they can do at the trade deadline, I think I would trust the Yankees. They are going to get a third baseman and 2 starting pitchers.
Who do you think they get?
I'm curious if the D-back, and it would be a stupid move on the D-back, so I don't even know why I think they would do it.
Suarez.
But Suarez, Kelly, and Zach Gallen in a package deal.
No.
Maybe send Spencer Jones there. Maybe send Will Warren there.
You're these guys that send me fantasy baseball trades. Like, good God, I'm not giving you all that.
But if you are able to get Spencer Jones and Will Warren out of it, I'm curious. I think the D-backs would be stupid to not go after that.
Wow. If the Yankees got that, I was thinking Suarez to them too. I think that makes the most sense.
I think they need to. I think it was kind of a luxury, like, oh, it would be nice to get Suarez, but it's not realistic. I think they need it now. Suarez
they might end up with somebody else, but I kind of think that's probably who they're targeting.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's targeting, and which is why I don't know if the Diamondbacks would say, okay, we'll package all 3 of these guys together. Yeah, so
I give the Rays an A minus. I give the Red Sox a B.
Why do you give the Rays an A minus?
I mean, it's not A plus material, but it's still A. It's still A.
No, I'm just curious if there was like just.
I don't believe in them fully. There's some things where I think their lineup is vulnerable, and the pitching I like, but I don't love. So it's an A minus. I mean, they're still having a great season, 50-43. So you're still getting we'll go 93%. Was that what we get? 92% A minus. We get to the grades there with it officially, but I do like them. They have the most stolen bases in the league, which is kind of funny. Then you have the Tigers that have the least stolen bases in the league, and those are your like 2. It's kind of funny. You can play 2 styles of baseball when you look at it like that. But I would go. That's where I would go with them. The Red Sox, like I said, they would get a C. They would get a B minus from me, and then the Orioles would get a D from me. They just have it. It's not an F, but it's not been good. The Red Sox, a lot of people started to believe in them again, but I still would push back and say, I think the Rays are mentally tougher. There's something about them.
Yeah. I mean, the Rays are just. It's kind of interesting. They're not playing. If you look at them on paper, they're not playing the greatest baseball, but they have some key. Jonathan Aranda, is it Caballero?
Joined the home run derby today.
Did they? Oh, did he really? That's good.
Yep.
I like him. I want him.
Yep.
They're doing just gangbusters, honestly, and the pitching. Let's see. What is their pitching?
Pitching's been solid. You got Baz who's been back. He's been great on the way.
But yeah, it is kind of interesting to me because I don't know really, because like my instinct says just you have to give them an A+ because in the offseason they were like, oh, they didn't get anyone. You didn't expect much from them, and then they come in and they're in a race for the division and not just the wild card, which I think they are. Where are they at? They are in the wild card right now. They have the second spot. So it's kind of interesting to me. But then I'm also thinking in 3 weeks we're about to get rid of Shane Baz, Brandon Lau, and some other great guy, Yandy maybe.
They're not trading.
Oh, you don't think so?
Why would you? You're 50-43.
They always.
You've had a great season.
No,
the Rays are timely. I'll give them that. Like they don't usually just. This isn't the first 10 years of the Rays. This is a smarter franchise.
Yeah. Okay.
I would have to disagree with you on that.
I think Brandon Lau is gone no matter what. Shane Baz, I think maybe too, but I mean, I don't know. I just their track record. That's kind of their thing.
Maybe, but man, 50-43, and you're giving up on the season. What do you think of the Orioles? I gave them a D. What do you give them?
It feels like a cop out to say F. No, you know what? They've been playing well. June. They were 16-12 in June.
They've been playing better. Yeah, I gave them.
Yeah. I think they were an F last month. I think they're probably a D. Man, it's a D-. Yeah, I think it's a D-. They didn't go out and get anyone in the offseason. They needed Corbin Burns. I get he's getting Tommy John surgery right now, or he's suffered through Tommy John, but they needed some guys, and their GM, who I am not a fan of at all now. I want him gone like the plague.
I mean, they fired the manager already. They've had some injuries. Yeah. I feel like the Burns thing, obviously, even though Burns is out for the year, like it's obvious you lose Burns, like that year he gave you last year. You lose things that you didn't get the year before. What do you think about Susie's Astros? I said, come on, Susie, join the chat, and she wrote no with a Bugs Bunny.
I saw that.
Unbelievable, Susie.
Susie is a loser, and our team's a loser, so.
Her team's been unreal, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why, but I can't believe in them.
Man, really? They swept the Dodgers 55-37.
Yeah, and Oral Hershiser, who has done no wrong in his life, said that they were cheating. So, kind of. I don't know.
Are you saying Charlie Morton wasn't an upgrade from Baltimore? No, Charlie hasn't got the job.
No.
He has not got.
You know what? He's one of the biggest disappointments. I expected him to be wheeled out in his 42-year-old self, and
where's Greinke?
Yeah, I need Zach Greinke to get his 3 strikeouts. The Astros, I don't know.
By the way, Aaron, if you don't get my trivia question in the first hint tonight, it mean I'm gonna be disappointed. I feel like you should know it. All right.
I got to remember to turn my comments off, especially when Aaron's on.
No pressure with Logan. Yeah, if Aaron's on, I feel like Aaron's money for the first one. So we'll see.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe it. He knows his trivia. I know he knows what it is. But
Whatever.
so the Orioles right there, F with it. Holiday's kind of picked it up in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he's done well. I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's I think he's coming to his own. I think I wonder if he's going to have the same situation that we had with Kevin Biggio. Like everyone expected him, he's going to be better than his dad, and then he turned out to be kind of a okay player. Maybe
I don't think he's going to be better than his dad, but I think he'll be at least an all-star where Calvin wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just curious if we're gonna. I wonder if people are going to be lowering their seasons or not, expectations with him.
Standards for him,
yeah, their ceilings, and I wonder if it's going to hurt him that he's a Holiday.
I do want to say in this conversation, you have ignored the greatness of the Astros and Susie's Astros right now. They have they've been to a good start. They don't even have Alvarez in right now. They've been clutch. Hader's been really good for him. He did get blown up the other day versus the Guardians. But I'm just saying they have been really good. So let me ask you this. Do you have more faith in the Blue Jays or the Astros? Not to win the division. Okay.
I think the Astros, and they do have a really easy schedule. Remember at the beginning of the season when they didn't have they had a really tough set schedule and they were kind of winning games, but they weren't great. They were still third place. I think we're hitting that part where they have a really easy schedule and then they're just not. I mean, they're just running teams over. Now, they did sweep the Dodgers, and that's nothing to sneeze at, but I don't know. They didn't add anything, so I got to give them a B minus.
On this, are we trying to cut something tonight? Is that what this is about? I mean, how can it not be an A? Straight A. I mean, they've been awesome.
No, they didn't add anybody.
I don't care. They've been great this half.
They have, but
you're a hater. You're a hater.
I'm not a hater. My gut is telling me that they're not real. They don't make sense. Jeremy Pena has been awesome for them. He's become the superstar they've been needing.
They don't lose when Valdez is on the mound.
Yeah, that is true. Valdez and Hunter Brown. I got to get these colors figured out.
Hunter Blue.
Yeah, Hunter Blue. They're doing awesome, but the Ryan Gusto, Colton Gordon, Ronald Blanco's injured. Is Lance McCullers injured?
He's been back a little bit. Yeah, he's been back now. But all right. So you're not fully in. How about the Mariners? How about the Mariners? 48 and 43. You talked about Cal early. Give me the grade real quick here.
C+.
Whoa, I have them at B.
Really?
So that's a little higher.
Yeah, they were really solid for about a month, and then they've kind of fallen a little bit. And yeah, they would still
be in the wild card right now.
Yeah, they have the third wild card spot. The fact that they didn't go out and get anyone in the offseason, I mean, if they had gotten someone in the offseason, they would have been so much better. But they didn't. So,
real quick, give it to me. Rangers, Angels, A's.
Rangers D+, Angels B, and Athletics C-.
All right, they won 10-1 last night against the Braves. Let's go NL East with it. Let's start from the bottom. Nationals, Braves. The Nationals fire Rizzo. A. Martinez, me and you kind of disagreed about this. I said it's time. I said it's time to move on. You said, "My gosh, you're an idiot." And so, I'm just kidding. You didn't say that. But you were like, "Oh, I was a little surprised by it." I guess the Martinez part doesn't surprise me. The Rizzo part does a little bit, but I know he's had kind of some run-ins with the ownership along the way. I don't know. Like, to me, it does feel like time for a change, but you don't think so?
Well, Mike Rizzo it's so interesting because he's been with the team since 2009. He's responsible for getting Bryce Harper and Steven Strasburg. He signed Max Scherzer to that monster deal, which probably is the greatest deal that's ever happened in the history of baseball. I mean, it's one of the best contracts. He traded for the greatest shortstop to ever grace us in Trey Turner. And then he won a championship, the first time in Expos Nationals history in 2019, and probably one of the best World Series we've ever seen, especially if you're on a cruise.
Are you doing karaoke?
Yeah, no. And so and he's done a lot of solid moves. Now, when he traded Scherzer and Trey Turner away,
I think you're overhyping him, man.
And that was what I was going to say, because I've kind of simmered down a little bit because it was just so confusing to me, because I'm like, you got so many of these good guys, but then when he traded Turner and Scherzer away, he got Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, who haven't been great.
No, not at all.
Now, the Juan Soto trade was great.
But don't you think it's an issue if you can't keep the stars, or is it fully on the owner?
I think that's on the owner. I can't. I mean, now that when they wanted to extend Soto, they lowballed him. Like they said $400 million for 15 years. That was never going to work.
Yeah, he got double that.
And yeah, and I remember saying, yeah, when I was running the show, I said he's gonna get at least $550 million for 15 years. And at the time, yeah, and I was like, that it wasn't even a real offer. So I can't. I don't know if I necessarily blame Rizzo for that one, but I do think that was a mixture of, like, they were just so offensively low that it kind of it hurt everybody. It hurt Mike Rizzo and ownership.
My thing at the bottom line, Logan, is it was time. I mean, It was time. I know, like, I get what you're saying. It was time. It was time.
They've had the number one draft pick for like the last 3 years, I think, or top 5 draft picks for the last 3-4 years.
That's the only way they won the year before. Is they got Strasburg and Harper back-to-back years.
Yeah,
I mean, and I don't know.
But I think none of their guys that they drafted have done well. So I think that's kind of been an issue too. So
by far.
Yeah.
Tyler's Braves. Tyler's Braves, 135 wins. But no, I'm just kidding. What was it? 102. They have struggled. F? I think I give them a D-. I'll give them a D-. I'll be nice. I'll pass them. What do you think? Is it an F for you? They can graduate.
It's got to be an F. It's got to be. They're so bad.
All right, 39, no graduation for the Braves.
They're 12 games under 500. You can't be one of the best teams in baseball last year and then have such a crumble this year.
How many games? Let me look it up. How did they win last year? They won
90.
89 and 73.
89?
73. They ended up the year before that, I think, is where they had the great year. And they won 104. So that's where they were a couple of years ago. So they've fallen off here a little bit. Obviously, Acuna's injury, a part of it, no doubt about it. But I think Strider's no doubt too. But I think I'm not, like I said, D-. I'll pass it. But I'm with you on the same thing with it. How about the Marlins? A little bit surprised. I'm going to give them a C. I'm going to give them a C+. Yeah. Mets get an A-. Braves and the Phillies get an A-. Same grade for me.
Really?
The Phillies Mets race for me is going to be electric. Well, because I always knew the Phillies had the better pitching and the starting rotation, but the Mets have it's not a similar lineup to the Phillies. It's actually a lot different. Like the Phillies lineup is kind of go big or go home, where the Mets will kind of grind you a little bit with some at bats. But both defenses leave me a lot to be desired. And the bullpens are kind of equal. So I think it's going to be right down to the wire. So to me, it's an A- to start. I still tend to lean towards the Mets to win the division.
I got to give them the Mets. I got to give a B-, I think. I think aside from Soto, they had to get somebody else, and it's just not working out for them, in my opinion. And it's kind of
They
showing.
got Clay Holmes. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Clay Holmes with
He's
his
been fine.
he's got a 329, but he's not an ace. They needed an ace. I mean, Griffin Canning's been good too, but Kodai Singh is
Maybe
injured.
they could try for Gallon.
Yeah,
That'd be a good spot, right? You keep mentioning these other teams except for the Mets. Gallon could be a spot for them.
He could. But they have a lot of holes that they need to fill up, and so I'm curious to see what they do. A lot of people still believe in them, so
you trust the Phillies more than the Mets?
Yes. I trust the Phillies.
Schwarber and Harper and Wheeler, Hall of Famer.
Yes, yeah, Hall of Fame. You know what's funny?
Is he through
Wheeler? Well, yes, and the guys that talking baseball, I swear they must be watching what I say all the time because
you're a genius. You're a genius. What an honor.
They said, oh, you know what? I think Zach Wheeler's a Hall of Famer now. It's a 7-run stretch of just great pitching, and I'm like, you know what? I've been saying that for 2 weeks now.
No, I said that I mentioned all these other guys that aren't in the Hall of Fame, and you're like, well, that makes So there's that too. I like that part of it too.
We'll forget about the Mike Trout thing.
All right, so if me and you, I'm saying Mets win the division. You're saying Phillies right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Because really, they just need the bullpen help.
All right, I like this. I like this. Me and you against each other. We have some we have some lines we can draw. Something we've
always been against each other.
Yeah, we can go to work a little bit on some things here. I like that, Logan Stone. All right, let's get to the NL Central. The Tubbies, but my Brewers. That's another part. Me and you have kind of boxed it out a little bit.
What? Oh, Brewers! Because
you have not believed in the Brewers. You have believed in the Cubs. We said this last week on the show. This is the Cubs division to have. It's their time.
Yeah.
But then you get this new guy coming in for the Brewers, Milwaukee. I don't care. It's like Rosenberger and the Cubs. I'm gonna say 9 different names for his last name as time goes on around here. Milwaukee. I don't know who it is, but you get my point. Is like that
Rosenberger.
The Brewers get him coming on. He pitched the other day against giving the homer to Ohtani. That was fantastic the rest of the way. Cubs for me, it's an A. The Brewers an A, and I still think the Brewers steal this division.
Cubs, I'm going to give them a B+.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think they needed to get some guys. They're kind of losing steam a little bit.
They've played well.
They have, but they've lost steam a little bit, and I feel like with the way the Brewers and the Cardinals were playing in the first couple weeks, the Cubs could have capitalized a lot more in the last couple months than they did. I don't think it should be this close. Brewers, I'm going to give them a B+ also, actually.
Andrew,
yeah, their pitching, their starting pitching is just amazing now. Brandon Woodruff, who is now probably, I hate that the Cardinals didn't get him, and man, Brandon Woodruff is just so good right now. His first start,
they haven't lost much in the bullpen.
No,
like when you trade Williams, remember me and you were like, oh my god, and they really haven't lost. McGill's been he's been great. They haven't lost anything there with him. I mean, he preserves the game today, and they win it in extra innings. They've been great. The bullpen is like they got terrain. They have a different type. They kind of remind me of the Rays of the National League.
Yeah, I get that.
They have to kind of score in different ways.
Yeah.
And then you have your guys like Churio, Yelich, where the Rays maybe don't have some of those names, but they're kind of there with it. And so I love I like the Brewers in this to still steal this division for the Cubs. I do. I don't know what it is about it. I gave the Cardinals a B-. Is that good?
I'd give them a B. No,
that's so better than me.
Oh, C+.
49 and 43 is good for them.
I think a C+. They didn't get anyone. They're so streaky. It's so weird. They'll dismantle the Dodgers or something, and then they'll lose to the Pirates. They'll
Or
get
the
swept by the
Nationals.
Pirates.
Or the Nationals.
The Nationals. They're getting spanked by the Nationals
8-2
right now.
tonight. 8-2.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. But on the Brewers, I'm looking at their page right now. So apart from Christian Yelich and Jackson Chourio, there's not one person who is hitting the leader in home runs aside from Christian Yelich and Jackson Chourio is 7.
No, I agree. They're a pesky team. They're a weird team.
Yeah,
they have like Fellick and Terang and they have these, but they have Hoskins coming back at some point too.
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of funny. They're 40 years late to Whitey Ball, so it's kind of funny.
How about a Rays Brewers World Series? That excite you, Logan?
A Rays Brewers, yeah, yeah.
They both.
That's gonna. That will excite me, but it won't excite anyone else.
What's our ratings on that series?
That's a 2. It's going to be you and me who watch that. Not even Brewers or Rays fans will watch that.
So Cardinals for you C-. Reds to me was a C, 47 and 46, and then Pirates for me, kind of just to drive a point home. It's going to be my first F of the year. Like I just again pathetic. There's pathetic. I always say one of the worst franchise ever run. So they get an F just for that, and I don't know what to say more than that.
Yeah, Reds. Yeah, they get a C for me. They're middling. I don't know. A lot of people are on top of them. They're kind of streaky like the Cardinals are. Like they're 500 right now. I don't really know. Yeah, I just don't know where to rank them really.
Sonny Gray's been awesome for them though.
Yeah. Yeah, Sonny Gray's been good.
Who's your guy you like again? Can you give it? Who's the guy?
Yadier Molina? No.
No. What's the guy? Give me the pitcher's name you hate with the passion.
Oh, Michaelis. Michaelis, my best friend. The comedian who's on the Cardinals, but you can't put a dollar sign.
What an interview.
You can't put a dollar sign into what he brings to the clubhouse, which is unmatched comedy. I mean, players will go in there with a terrible mood and they'll sit on a whoopee cushion.
It's a terrible mood because he gave up 8 home runs in a game.
Yeah,
or whatever. That's why it's a terrible mood.
Listen, you can't judge him based on what he does on the field. You have to judge what he brings to the table, and that's unmatched comedy. You know what? I think it's going to pay for himself when he does his first comedy special.
What a beast he is. What a beast he is.
Oh, man.
Hey, NL West here with it. Rockies F-. Is there a G? Can we give a G?
Yeah.
Doyle's been awful. I remember Doyle, what a prospect. He had a great year last year, been just hit the tank this year. McCann's been, and the one thing about them is was the shortstop even that looked good last year. Gosh, what's his name? Tavar. He got hurt. Like he hasn't had. They just don't have much like hope right now. Like they could have these young guys that were supposed to be good, but they kind of regressed this year again. They haven't developed quite the same. So kind of like the White Sox, where they drafted these guys and their organization is so bad. It's like, well, the White Sox, like they drafted Vaughn, 3rd pick overall. He's terrible. And then he goes to the Brewers, and maybe it's early success, but you know what I mean? Better organization, yeah. Players feel better in. And so it's interesting to me when I see those type of things with them. So
Hunter Goodman is good. He's got 17 home runs on the year.
He has. No, he's been good for him. What do you think about the Diamondbacks? Because I know you said trade everybody and their mother since like May.
And have I been proven wrong? No. I'd say D plus. I don't think that they.
You have not been a fan.
No, I haven't. Their bullpen went from a really good to. I mean, it got them to the World Series 2 years ago, and it's horrible now. So I'm kind of curious. Like
it's actually comical to me. Some of the D-backs like texts I get from you, like this guy's passion for the D-backs is like me towards like the Tigers at times. Like I'll be like this son of a, like I'll be like this weird team that you don't like have any love for. Like It just cracks me up.
I love him. I think like I loved him. I just thought, it'd be so smart if they traded these guys away because like they're doing horrible. They're not winning any games, but Josh Naylor has a 357 on base percentage. Eugenio Suarez,
He's
he's gone. Yeah, Eugenio Suarez has got 28 home runs. And then like Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen are on their last years, and they're
Mr. Fat.
Yeah,
they're
Mr.
2
Fat.
games under 500. The problem is they're in a division that's really good.
Yeah,
and in the Padres,
but that's not the reason why they're 45 and 47.
At home, they're 2 games under 500. That's not a good thing when you're like that, even at home.
Yeah,
their pitching's been really bad. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been consistent all year. How about the pods? I want to get your thought. Like, I feel like me and you. I'm curious. I gave them a B minus. That might be harsh, but I was expecting more from them. I was expecting a little. Come on, go. I did though at the beginning of the season say I had them as my most disappointing team going into it. But as the season went on, I'm like, come on, you're starting like they don't have this extra surge to them. It pisses me off about them.
Yeah, I actually don't think you're being too harsh at all. I actually think the opposite. I think you're being too generous. I think they're C plus maybe.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you on that. They
5.5 games out to be fair.
I honestly, so a hot sports opinion that's been developing in my mind now is I think Manny Machado will be traded in the offseason if they don't make it the playoffs. I don't think maybe. I don't think that they can. I don't know if they can get. I don't know if Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado are getting along. From what we hear about these stories of them arguing and there was a fight breaking out in the locker room, I'm curious, and I'm not even saying Manny Machado is wrong in this situation.
Like
but
whose
I'm thinking,
team it is type of deal?
Huh?
Like whose team it is type of deal?
Maybe who's the leader of the clubhouse. I don't know. I think there's just too much ego in there, and it's not working out. And so I'm kind of it seems to be a problem because what was it 2021? They had a really great record. They were close to taking the division at the halfway point of the season, and then after that they had just an abysmal second half, and they went from having the top spot in the wild card to not even making the playoffs, and the Cardinals overtook them in 21. And the Cardinals
still took the Dodgers to 5 games last year.
Yeah, but I don't know. Something's just not working in the Padres organization, and
do you think they're going too much for the free agent?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
because you like their manager, right? Ex-Cardinal.
Yeah, Mike Schilt. I like Mike Schilt. He's a player's manager. He kind of lets players do with their own thing, but he also kind of controls it a little bit. But he's an old school manager, so he's not very analytical, which is kind of an issue. But I don't know if that's necessarily an issue whenever you have Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis and some of these other guys.
I think you're being harsh on them based on their expectations going into the year, and that's fair.
Yeah, and
you thought they'd be in first place. You'd want them to be in first place right now.
I want them to be
at least
first place in the wild card. At least ahead of the first in the wild card. That's their division kind of right now.
I will say this: when I have MLB free games, because I do listen to the radio, but sometimes I'll do the free game of the day or whatever. Or I do get my favorite show is the MLB Big Inning, where they'll show all the games. That's my favorite part of the day is when that is. That's why I say I love July because I can get home early enough and watch all the games. But through that is Padres. They're always getting my attention. But Cronenworth, they got Bogarts. They're always on my mind. But Cease when he's pitching. So. Here's before we hit the Giants. Great. Here's the play last night. They were down 3-1 to the Phillies. Patrick Bailey, the catcher, up again. Catcher up for the Giants. Ninth inning, 1 out. Here we go.
First and third, 1 out. Patrick hits a high drive, deep right center field. This one is off the top of the wall, and it ricochets, and it's rolling on the warning track. 2 runs are in. Bailey coming around third. Patrick Bailey scores! It's an inside the park walk-off home run. Now we've seen everything. And Patrick Bailey gets tackled.
What a great call by Dave Fleming there as well on the call there for the Giants last night. Unbelievable call. What a finish to a game. Padres up 3-1, or the Phillies up obviously 3-1 in a situation like that. So unbelievable finish to the game last night. So Giants, they are in second place still. They've struggled. They had their couple weeks ago where they weren't playing well. Dodgers have obviously on a 6-game losing streak. Giants 5 games out. Padres 5.5 game out. For me, if the Giants get a B plus, I feel like they've exceeded my expectations. They played very good, and for the Dodgers, they get an A. They get an A minus. That's right.
Dodgers, I think B plus, just because they
so
had
both
so
B
many...
plus, or you give the Giants higher than B plus.
Yeah, I think I'm giving them both B pluses. Right. Giants, I think they could have done more in the offseason to get to a better spot. I mean, signing Willie Adames, last year? No. Was it last year or this year? This year. Wow. And then trading for Rafi.
What a signing for Buster.
Yeah. And then trading for Rafi Devers has been helpful. But I think they could have done something better. Hung-Ju Lee has been great. Dodgers, I think they had so many injuries. They're just not playing at full strength right now, which is a little bit scary.
What do you mean by that, though? Like, is it just full strength in terms of obviously the rotation, but like we knew Snell would get hurt. We knew Glass blah, 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 now would get hurt. We knew he would get hurt. We knew these Suzuki would get hurt. We knew this was going to happen. Like we literally knew it. And then you have the Giants who have Ray, who's been kind of back a little bit. You know, Robbie Ray made the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like, he's been back a little. You have Logan Webb. Like, the Giants at this point might have the starting pitching advantage that the Dodgers don't have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And the Dodgers, when I say they're just not at full strength, their offense is kind of there. Will Smith has gone nut job. I mean, he's got a 434 on base percentage. You like that one?
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy Edman is just not. I mean, he's Tommy Edman, but everyone loves him because of his.
What an April!
Whatever. 297 on base. That's what you got.
Oh, yeah.
Mookie Betts is just not. I mean, he's kind of average right now. I don't know if he's playing through an injury. Max Muncy, he's kind of figured it out. But
do you think they should move Ohtani out of the first spot and put
at a leadoff
and put Betts there?
Yeah, I think
thinking if they switch the two.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Ohtani is more. I'd have to think he's more comfortable at leadoff.
I know you get him the I know you get him the most at bats at the first spot. But to me, there is a value in him hitting second or third as well.
Yeah. I think you have value wherever you put him. But yeah, I think one thing that works in Ohtani's favor is if he gets on and it's not a home run,
he can steal.
He's a threat to steal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, looking at everyone aside from Ohtani, Andy Pages has 17 home runs.
He's been awesome.
Teoscar Hernandez has 14. Freddie Freeman has 10. Tommy Edman has 10. Mookie Betts has 11. Max Muncy has 13. Will Smith has 12. I guess maybe my problem is that they were sold as like this powerful juggernaut.
Like never.
Right. You're gonna be hitting back to back home runs like every day, and it's just not there right now. And not saying like they're bad because their on base is there. but it's just like it feels like the floor is about to fall apart in a second. And
I worry about the pitching more, Logan. The hitting.
yeah, and that's just on the hitting side. I haven't even gotten to the pitching side, which is just everywhere.
But
yeah, and so
May has been good for them.
May has been good.
His stuff, but if you don't have Glasnow and you don't have Snell come playoff time, you're literally taking away two of your best pitchers.
Yeah,
by far. Correct?
Yeah, and I mean Roki, I don't know when he's coming back. Glasnow is supposed to come back this week, right? Saturday?
He is. He pitched today.
Oh, did he pitch today? Okay, I couldn't remember when he was supposed to pitch. But yeah,
and he pitched well.
Yeah, I think whenever I think we're about to get something bad from the Dodgers. Like,
so
I think it's
Giants
either
or Padres steal the division.
I think the Giants could.
Oh my god!
I'm
stunned.
I'm telling you,
Dirk. Wow.
My gut and just is never wrong about some of this stuff, except whenever it comes to Mexican food.
Or when to say no. Don't say no.
Don't say no. But
so you would believe in the Dodgers at that? Like, okay. Before we move on. To Diamond Notes. If I was to say we took the beginning of the year, you still have a Yankees versus Dodgers World Series. Like, what are you kind of feeling? And just what do you?
I can't remember who my World Series picks were. I know the Rangers were supposed to win it.
I think you had the Astros first dusk.
They're not making it. I think
you had the Yankees.
I don't think I have the Yankees.
You had the Mariners?
Reason, I still like the Rangers. I think I still have the Rangers.
Oh my god! Are you still right now? You would take the Rangers?
I wouldn't take them right now, but
I'm saying. Right now, who's your pick?
Okay, right. I want to pick the Rangers just because they can sneak in and get hot. This is such a Bruce Bochy season, and I've seen it unfortunately in 2014 with Travis Higashioka. There you go, Tyler. There's Travis Higashioka. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, still nightmares about that guy.
Ishikawa, but same thing. Ishikawa.
Oh, not Higashioka. Yeah, Ishikawa. Travis Ishikawa.
Glasnow, whatever.
Yeah,
it don't matter.
Oh man, I had a Darren moment. I've been hanging out with you too much.
You've been hanging out. But I think this is good. Like we went through all the standings. We like the grades with it. We hit on all of it. We're at this part of the season. Like I said, checkpoint for me. Give me a couple July 31st, August 1st. That's a big checkpoint for me. That's quarter number 3, and we're out with that.
I don't know who would win on the NL side. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to say Cubs. I kind of want to say Giants.
It's Dodgers.
I just don't. I don't know.
Right.
I'm telling you, the fact that they're not hitting the ball out of the park right now, it scares me. It scares me. I don't get scared often.
Tyler's Giants need a little bit more respect. All right, 7th Diamond Notes. Here we go. All-Star game. Tap me. You're getting a little bit of that. Immediately call Yankees. Cashman hopes to add a starting pitcher before deadline. Ray Slugger Caminero added to a home run derby, the 4th guy. The real uniforms! Back in the MLB, me and Logan postponed 1994 All-Star 1 until next Wednesday. There's no game, so we'll do it next week. I watched it last night. Mr. Lee, McGriff, the homer to tie it up.
I was honestly about to start watching it and I was doing research, and I was like, and then you texted that, and I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Such a great game. You'll have to. Yeah. I want to put more time in it. It's an all-time All-Star game with everything, with the strike ahead of time. There's a 2-hour and 55-minute version. I watched multiple times because I'm a sick man. There's a 4-hour 27-minute version, and it's like but basically it's just all NBC coverage leading up to it. It's just hilarious. Like, yeah, it's just good stuff. Kind of seeing how times were back then. So I'll get into that with you. I want to deep dive more into it, so this gives me a little bit more time. So next week with it, but looking into some of the Diamond Notes this week. Shout out Peter Gammons, All-Star game is adding the tap me if we got it with it. Yankees hope to add a starting pitcher, Caminero, in the All-Star Home Run Derby, which seems like less and more seeming like the Home Run Derby in a sense, people not wanting to do it. And then but I do love the real uniform back in the All-Star game. Any thoughts on your diamond notes there along the way with it? And obviously LeMahieu, as we talked about, DFA, I have some stuff at the bottom here.
The real uniforms, I love the real uniforms. It's always cool to me. I not that I hate some of those I do hate. Some of the All-Star uniforms I hate. I love that. I love it when they have the hats though with the All-Star logo, kind of like the All-Star logo with their team logo. It's kind of cool to me. Just so that way there's some uniformity to it.
Yeah.
But I always think it's so cool to see a Met thrown to a Philly or a Cardinal thrown to a Cub. That's cool to me. I love that. That's my favorite time. Caminero, that's cool. He needs to be in there.
He's been great this year. He really has.
Cash Yanks hope to add starting pitcher before deadline. Yeah, no crap. The ABS challenge system, it's kind of funny. I almost sent you guys the Jeff Passan tweet. Basically, he said the ABS system or the ABS is like the pitch clock. Everyone was whining and moaning about it whenever when they were talking about implementing it, and then everyone loves it now. Everyone loves the pitch clock now. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to, but the ABS system is going to be a lot of help.
Well, somebody said, I have heard like, a couple weeks, it must have been a month ago. Buck Showalter was on the call with somebody. Two of my favorite announcers are Buck Showalter and Ron Darling. Along the way, they're just really good with stuff. I love Buck. You
would like Buck, wouldn't you?
I do. I'm a big Buck fan.
Oh man.
But I like the idea where he said does the catcher position not become as valuable because of the framing? And then that Darling, who was with him, was like, well, no, you only get two of those a game. So it's not like you would get unlimited ASB challenges along the way. It's not like this. Every call you can just challenge, like you get two of them. So the catching will still be a big deal in terms of how you can frame and stuff like that along the way.
Well, I think it's kind of like the replay system. If you challenge it and you don't. Oh no, two per team. That's right. It is.
That's what I mean.
But if I forgot. I thought it was like each player gets like 2 per game or something. But it's the whole team. Yeah, and so there's a strategy that has to be put into it.
You can't just be like, the batter, I'm pissed off. Here it is. It's like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
Whoa,
yeah, they're gonna have to tell Javier Baez you're never allowed to challenge or something.
Exactly.
Actually, like with how much he swings, if he challenges a pitch, they may just say, you know what? If you challenge it, if you say it's outside of the zone, then
there's a Javier Baez box and then a regular box. We have two different types towards you guys at that part of it. All right, trivia here with it. If I get you on with it. All right, hit number one. One. I told Tyler, I said Tyler was gonna join, and he said no, so I changed it a little. I changed the guy.
Loser.
Exactly. Tyler, if you're out there, what a loser. I totally agree with that. All right, I played 14 seasons from 1996 to 2009 with the A's, Royals, White Sox, and Braves, and was a 2-time All-Star.
I don't have it. I'm just gonna say David Justice, even though I know it's wrong. It's not Maglio, is it? No. Okay, never mind.
Hit number 2. I finished with 325 home runs, decent amount. 274 hours, 172 RBIs. I was a 1-time Glove and a 1-time Silver Slugger. Do you want me to give you the position?
Sure, if you want. It's an outfielder, right?
It's an outfielder.
Yeah. I have his head and I have his face in my head. Can you give me hint 1 for again? A's, Royals, White Sox, and Braves. He ended with the Braves?
He did not.
Oh, okay. So you're just You're just screwing with me right now.
He started with the Braves.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's so weird to me. Like, I know the player, I just can't think of it.
Well, I think hit number 3 will give it to you. If you
Okay, give it to me.
I was traded to Oakland as part of a 3-way trade in which the Royals received Nefi Parib. I went on to win the World Series in 2005.
I can't think of it.
Really?
I can't. Started off with the Braves. 1 in 25 or
1 in 2005 with the White Sox. I played right field.
I have his face.
Tyler, I know he did at this point. I fouled off against the A's famous division series. Fouled off the leg off my knee and broke my leg doing it.
I'm gonna feel horrible if I don't say. No, it's not Jermaine Dye.
Bingo.
Is it Jermaine?
It is Jermaine.
I thought he was a Cub.
Nope, never.
I thought he was a Cub also.
Let's get it up there. I did it with Raul last week. Let's get it up there. Let's get a little Jermaine Dye up here.
Orlando
World
Hernandez,
Series,
a
Logan.
former Yankee and a great postseason performer, also with the White Sox.
Dye hits it into deep right at the wall. The White Sox strike first. What a tremendous at-bat by Jermaine Dye, who was 0-2 and a 9-pitch at-bat.
I remember when the A's traded for him, I was like, oh, weird. Oh, we are so legit. Giambi, Dye, Damon. I was like, we are there. We got Tejada, we got Chavez, we got Hernandez, I was like, this is the team. I was like, we were awesome that year. I mean, it was awesome, Jermaine Dye.
So I watched Moneyball the other day, and his name was on the right field, like the chalkboard that they had, and whenever they're trying to acquire free agents, and I was like, oh man, Jermaine Dye, he's so good. But I thought he ended his career in 2010 with the Cubs, because when I played in MLB The Show, 2010, he was a Cub. So I guess he signed like in spring training, and then they cut him. But man, he was one of my favorites too. I loved him. I'm so glad that, because he was my first pick. I was like, that looks like Jermaine Dye, but oh man,
he was.
But
awesome.
I was like, but I kept thinking he was a Cub. So, anyways,
no Cub with it. All right, Mr. Buck, where you at? There we go.
What a ride! The Cardinals are world champs in 2011.
All right, it's flashback time here with MLB. We had last week. I had a couple with you. I had the guy hanging on by the rail to survive with what a haircut he was.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. This goes back to Orioles Yankees. Tino Martinez at the plate. Armando Benitez pitching for the great Baltimore Orioles. Let's see what happens, folks. Let's enjoy a couple minutes of good hardcore baseball in 97.
Oh, that's going to call. Yeah, he's gone. Benches are going to empty. That was a frustration pitch on Benitez's point. No need for it. Darren Strawberry's after him now. And Benitez, because of all the frustration. Oh, boy. They're after him. This is getting ugly now. Now, you got to break it up. Somebody's going to get hurt. Ellie Hendricks trying to calm Joe Girardi down. Tino irate, and I don't blame him.
Joe Girardi.
I mean, there's one thing about making a hitter move his feet, but when you just blatantly bury one in his back after a guy. I mean, Bernie just went around the bases, didn't show anybody up, and the guy. To me, when a pitcher does that, it's showing that he has no confidence he can get people out. I know he's frustrated. He gave up the home run.
An all-timer in terms of just Yankees into the dugout. You're not going to see that very often, people around these days. So you get that once in a while with it, but great stuff. That was my throwback with it. Orioles, Yankees, the whole time with Benitez there with it. They got to do a lot.
Orioles and Yankees was a sneaky good rivalry for a while.
Especially because the Orioles were winning right before the Yankees took over.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were both kind of, it was, they're sneaky. I wish that they would be a rivalry again.
I remember the Orioles beat them when they had Buck Showalter a few years ago. And I think they lost to the Rangers in the ALCS. Because I remember Big Buck getting the job done with Bip Roberts and not Bip Roberts. What was the guy? Not Bip Roberts. It was a Roberts at second base. I can't think of his name. It's not Bip.
Brian Roberts.
Brian Roberts. Thank you. He was at second base along the way there. So they had him.
Second baseman ever.
One of the best of all time. All right, Logan Stone, are we in agreement next week? I watched the game last night, fell asleep through a few innings, did watch the Orioles closer and blow the game against Fred McGriff, 1994 All-Star game. The reason I kind of want to do it is this, is like, I like the fact that looking back at old games, me and Logan get a chance to kind of talk about like what was great then, what was different then. We kind of look at the players, like it's not just like, oh, what happened in the first inning? No. We're going to kind of get into like some different aspects. The announcers part of it. Greg Gumbel was doing the pregame for the game. The strike was about to happen in 94. Paul Molitor is interviewed before the game. A lot of stuff, the way they covered the game back then, the way the game was felt was going to be different. So I kind of look forward to doing a rewatchable, my first one with you next week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm kind of glad actually thinking about it, just because I was like, I need to see what the game is like now, because I've watched like the beginning, the first two innings of the All-Star game, and then I kind of go to bed because it's on late. And I'm an old man now, apparently.
The game starts at 5:00 my time, so for you it's a little different.
Yeah, it's like 7:00, and that like once the festivities are over. But yeah, and I was thinking like another thing I was thinking about, and not trying to get too deep into it right now, but like I was thinking about the 2009 All-Star game, because that was like the first one. Like my dad forced me to watch it. He said, it's Tuesday night. You're staying up late. You're going to watch the 2009 All-Star game because it was in St. Louis.
Yep.
And for like an hour and a half, it was all Cardinals stuff. It was like talking about the greatness of the Cardinals, the storied franchise. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's so awesome that like they showed honor to the Cardinals, because at that point I was like, they don't ever recognize the Cardinals like in MLB. Like Stan Musial was like,
me and other people out here in California would disagree with you big time, but yes, that's
yeah, but like Stan Musial was like the most underrated player at that time, and then he started getting more recognition, thankfully, before he died. But anyways, all that to say, in years after that, you don't really see like the honoring the team, and like, because the All-Star game, it seemed like used to be a little bit of a, hey, it's in this place, let's honor this place that that's hosting for a little bit. Like the 99 game, they had Ted Williams come out in Boston, and like that was like really cool. And now it's kind of like there's nothing really they don't really show off, it seems like.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of different angles I want to take this game with you next week.
Yeah, I get it. And so,
because we have the game on Tuesday. Me and you will probably do the podcast Wednesday. And like, so we're going to look back at the game basically 31 years ago. That was a good game. And I have a lot of stuff I want to get to with you on the All-Star game, because that, like I said, that's our podcast next week. We're going to basically talk All-Star game. We're going to look back at this game and a lot of different angles. What's aged the best? What's worse? Like different things from the game. The announcers, even how they describe the game. There's a lot of stuff that I have. This game I've seen thousands of times. I have notes on it. I'm ready to go for Logan Stone on this one. But it's a fun one as if you're a baseball nerd and where you're going to. Me and the guys on Fat Boy Fadeaway are doing actually the 1998 All-Star game recap on Sunday.
Interesting.
And so we're doing a rewatch of that one, which is a game in Colorado. So it's so funny the way that it's not just the game, it's how the game's announced. There's all these little details that you see throughout the way. And like I said, 31 years ago, we'll get a chance to kind of talk about it. Basically, if we look at it 3 weeks before the strike happened. So it'll be interesting for us to kind of break down this game and some of the players in the game, all this good stuff with it. So I look forward to that. Thank you for your grades this week. Not too many Fs. We gave a lot of D minuses, but not some Fs along the way.
It's kind of hard to just cop out and just give everyone an F that just did horrible. So,
well, you didn't give the Astros an F, so Susie's proud of you. You didn't do that to her on that side.
In my heart, I gave him an F.
We gave it your heart. You gave it an F. All right, Logan. I'll see you next week, man. Have a good week. All right, brother. I'll see you later.
See you, bud.